Hey guys, welcome back to Lynch's Garage, and it's a Friday night Vega stories. But I got one mini bottle left here, so let's open her up. Go grab a drink. Cardboard, I'll recycle that later. I'll just throw that over there. This one here is maple rum. Check that out. Maple rum. So it's got some maple flavor to it. Let's try her. Yeah, grab whatever drink you want. I'm going to start with this, and you guys know by now what my next drink is going to be anyway. But let's just fill her up to the top, and that leaves me about half. I might polish it off tonight. Yeah, because I got a few stories to go. I'll put that down here. Yeah. Well, cheers to Friday. I'm just going to turn the heat down on this little heater I got here. I'm going to put it back actually a little bit. I'm warm enough in here now. Yeah. Cheers to Friday, because I know what it's like. You got your Monday to Friday, right? And there's always that one person at work. And by the time you get to Friday, you got maybe one nerve left. And this person wants to crawl under that last nerve you got, right? And you don't want to deal with that. So, cheers to sticking to it, getting through it. Ah, I got cheat notes here and all this stuff. So let's have a look. Oh my God, that's got some maple. That's got some maple flavor to her. Whoa. No, I wonder if there's sugar in that. Anyway, let's see. I did do a 1 to 6, and then I added more mini stories, and then I added a prelude type of thing. So let's just do the prelude thing, prelude to this. Yeah, yeah, let's do that. So I'm in the garage. It's I wouldn't say it's late at night. I can't even remember what day it was. It's either a Friday or Saturday night. Yeah, and of course my boss there, Gary, was giving me a hand um, shoehorning the V8 into the Vega, um, and so we had the motor mounts all secured, and we angled it in, dipped it in there, the right angle with his cherry picker engine hoist, and we got her in there. Um, we might even bolted the headers to it. I think we did. We had to put the gaskets on it and sandwich them between the heads and the headers and bolted those on. But it was getting near 6 o'clock in the evening, and I was supposed to go to my sister's wedding. It was just down St. Paul's Church down in Windmill Road there, and well, I didn't make the ceremony part, but I did make the reception that they had downstairs in the basement. A little reception thing going on there. So I got a picture of that though. Like my hands are a bit greasy, but I got on my best denim shirt, brand new denim shirt. And I'm just sitting back. I don't know if I ate anything there or what. I wasn't drinking coffee at that point. I don't know. Maybe I had a pop or something. But that's me there. You can see, maybe I'm trying to hide my hands because I got a lot of dirt on them from putting the Vega motor in. But this is Marie Cameron. She lived across the street from us in Wallace Heights in the Navy housing. That's her son, Pat Kramer, or Pat Kramer, Pat Camerman's. Yeah, I knew a lot of Pats, I guess. Um, yeah, so that's I made it to that anyway. That's okay. I didn't make it to the ceremony. Now, what are we going next, guys? Did you get your drink yet? Hope you got your drink. Beer, wine, cooler, coffee, something. You know, something to take the edge off. Whoa. Yeah. I gotta check that. You know what? Has that got more alcohol in it than the other ones? Nope. No. 42%. Same. That finishes off the whole kit. Okay, what do we got next here? Okay. So back in the old days, you could park your car. There's no restrictions. I could park my car right in front of Dartmouth High, right in front of the main entrance, right? Not, of course, not Victoria Street, but as you come around, make a right off Victoria and go down, and you see you got the Dartmouth High logo there. And if you went a little farther, you got the Dartmouth High school parking lot, and they call that the Harbor Doors. But I'm talking right, just looking at the main doors there. I used to park my car right there, right on the street, facing down the hill, and I could sit up in math class, and I get a seat close to the window, and I could look out and check on my car. Right, I didn't want, just make sure everything's cool, right? But my teacher, when I was passing in my work, my math, you know, problems I was solving and stuff like that, she said, Ronnie, I think it was Mrs. Ryan or something. I think that was it. She goes, I can't read some of the stuff you're writing because the grease coming from your hands onto the page. Some of the numbers I can't make out. She goes, you have to wash your hands before you come to class. I said, well, at break time, I had a class off. Break time, I was working on the car. I said, and I couldn't get the grease off my hands. So the teachers had to put up with that shit from me. So I wasn't the greatest student, but I tried, and I got 60s and 70s, whatever. So that's the two little starter ones. Okay, so at this point, come back a couple days later, and transmissions on it. We get it up to my backyard. Me and Wayne we're adjusting the valves and all that. That's all going good. And once the transmission gets replaced, like it explained in the last story, they put another transmission in it. Once I got that rolling, then of course I was out riding it around and stuff like that, and seeing what you do and having fun with it. So this guy here, guy that I think he might have, if he was talking to me at the lights or something like that. I think he pulled up beside me at the lights by the old bridge there, McDonald Bridge. And he goes, my brother works at the Esso station right there. I said, yeah, okay. He goes, he's seen you going by one night, and he said you were popping the clutch. You were popping the clutch, popping it, and you were lifting the front wheels off the ground. I said, no. I said, I couldn't pop a clutch. He goes, what do you mean? I said, I got no clutch. I said, this is automatic. I said, all I do is put it down in first gear and tap the throttle 3 times. I said, that's what brings the wheels off the ground. He goes, holy shit. He said, that's even better. So, yeah, that kind of freaked him out. What do we got here? Oh, okay. So Dad, although I worked on cars and stuff like that, Dad always trusted The Texaco mechanics. Uh, Even way back in the day, there was a Texaco on Windmill Road, the entrance to Shannon Park. It was there on the left, a little ways up, but Leo Greenwood, I think was the guy's name. And even back then, back in the day, Dad would take his old '64 Belvedere there for oil changes and stuff like that. So, like the story goes with Texaco, always trust the man who wears the star. I believe that's a saying. Anyway, Dad said, "No, I'm going to get Gary. Gary can do my brake job on the Nova, on the '72 Nova. He can do the brake job." I said, "Okay." He said, "But I got to drop it off there, and can you pick me up at the garage?" I was off that day or something. I must have been off that day. I wasn't pumping gas. So yeah, I'll pick you up, Dad. I went down, picked him up, and we were just cruising along. Went down Wise Road, up Boland, got to the top of Boland. I'm driving really easy, I'm not, I didn't want to freak my dad out or nothing. And we go down Victoria, make a right on Woodland Avenue, get up, and probably get up maybe. I think it's just before you hit the street called Frederick Street that goes up into Creighton Park. So I'm probably back about 5 houses from that corner. And I thought, Dad, watch what the Vega can do. And he says, what? And I stomped the pedal, put it down in the first, and stomped the pedal 3 times, and the wheels popped up. It was, Ronnie, stop it! So, okay, it's all right, Dad. It's not going to be, it's okay. Just going to pop the wheels off the ground. So he got freaked out about that. Anyway, that was cool. Yeah, those were the days. Okay, what number 3? Oh fuck, this one. Well, before we get into this one, let's go look at this book, because I got the first book, as you guys know. I got this book that came out in 1975 that I showed you already. That one. But I decided to get another book in '77. They came out with this one, which is pretty cool. It's got something in here that I was going to get done to my car. Well, the body shop guys offered to do it for me. They were going to give me a flip-flop front end. They said, being you already got fiberglass fenders, he said the steel would handle it. We'd make a hinge up for you, and we could give you a flip-flop front end where you flip it up and then you get access to your engine that way. And that's what this car here has. But they wanted $200 or something to do it, and I just didn't have the money to do it, so I didn't go for it. But there's some cool cars in here. This one's a wagon, station wagon. It's got the V8 350, I believe, or is it a 327 he put in this one? This guy here, he's got a nice hood scoop on it too. Corvette ZL1 hood scoop molded into the stock Vega hood. He had a turbo Hydromatic 350 in this one here. And what did he installed? He was considering a 283 or a 327, but it's a 327 in there. He put a 327 in that Vega. Here's another one. Here's another Vega. As you can see, this one's got that hood scoop I started out with, that low profile Corvette one. That's nice. That's got a V8 in it. Yeah, he put a Corvette 283 in it. Came out of a Corvette 283. Let's have a good hot cam in it. This one's got a 4-banger in it with the cutout bumper. It's a notchback. You can see they're not as attractive as the hatchback because they go right. They're not as nice. I don't think they are, but I don't know. Here's one with a short snorkel hood scoop. I did go to a snorkel hood scoop later on, the very last rendition of the Vega. Yeah. And what does this guy here? He put in the big old 780 carburetor on it, Holly. Um, he was doing 11.79 in the quarter mile with this car, going through the traps at 119 miles an hour. He was doing. He had 456 gears in the rear end. Now that's just going to rip the tires right from the start. That's a wicked gear ratio there. But he had a really souped up 350 in it in this one. What else we got here? This one here, he calls his car the Little Rat. He's got a rat pack on the back there, and it's, I don't know. He's put an SS badge on the front, but he's still got the little four banger in it, and he just did up the four banger to try to get some more horsepower out of it. I don't know how much he got out of it, but yeah, said he was doing 79 miles an hour through the traps with a quarter mile of 17.28, which is, well, it's not that fast, right? That's not fast nowadays. Here's another wagon, and this guy put a Buick V6 in it. Some guys did that because it's lightweight, like aluminum. I believe that block was aluminum, so it was kind of light. 255 cubic inch uh, V6. Yeah, there's a nice white one. They're not showing what motor's in that one. That's a 74. They don't look as good in the front, but front ends. But this one here, blacked out. That one is a four banger. That was nice. And this one here doesn't. He's got the 140 in it. Still got the old four banger station wagon. Here's some concept cars. They had the Vega Flyer. They were going to make a rag top out of the Vega, and yeah, so there's a good little picture of it there, right there. Not bad. Never made it though. And they had another one called the Vega VTO, which was kind of sleek looking. The front end was cool. Front end there was cool. Yeah. What else we got? Wheels there. There's my kit right there. Doug Thorley kit. That's the kit I bought. It was called Doug Thorley headers. Taking a lot of the guesswork out of this fully engineered kit. Includes the headers, engine mounts, rear cross member for the tranny, alternator bracket, gaskets, and header bolts. There you go. You got the whole kit right there. And just some stuff in here for tuning up the four-cylinder. Kind of some of it was a repeat from the other book, how to do maintenance of your car. There's this neat picture here. This is how they shipped the Vegas in rail cars. They drove them on, and then they flipped up the car so it was nose down. Yeah, they're making so many of these Vegas. They're shipping them out like crazy. There's the underpinnings of what it looks like right there. They did wind tunnel tests. There's a sort of a plexiglass model of a Vega there. But yeah, it was a stylish looking car. Well, there's a Vega sitting beside a full Chevrolet Caprice, I believe, and you can see the size difference. GM trying to make cars more efficient and compete with the Japanese models. That's what they did. Here's a happy couple. Well, for the first few weeks until the first 6 months or so, until the oil started burning through it like it was going out of style, and they had about a quart in every 30 miles. Then they weren't smiling as much as they are there. What's this one? This is just a striped kit one, about a 75 right there. Vega GT. Yeah. So that was a good book too. You know, that's the one I had actually when I put the motor in. How am I doing on this here? How are you guys doing on your drinks? You probably cracked one by now. Whoa. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to finish it. I don't need to keep it. Will it all fit? Oh yeah. Yeah. It'll fit. Just enough. Just enough to spare, people. Look at that. Yeah. Not bad. Mapley, but it's good. I don't mind tasting maple. Let's have another cheers. Now, where are we? We just finished. Oh, okay. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Okay. So, I should show you I might as well show you the engine. This is what the engine looked like. I painted the block orange, Chevy orange. So there's the 283. That's the spout for the oil. That's where you put your oil in, right there. Um, that was a Rochester quadrajet 4-barrel carburetor, like a GM quadrajet, and that black part is just like a tunnel, like a tin tunnel to raise my air filter up high enough so that when the air blew through the hood scoop, it would the air would capture right into the filter area. Yeah, so that's it. And you can actually see closely there. You can see my 3-core rad. 1, 2, 3. You can see the thickness of the rad I had done there at the rad shop. And these are pro stock valve covers, real lightweight aluminum, cast aluminum ones. So what the Vega looked like for this next story, it was painted GM vermilion red, really nice color, different from candy apple, a little lighter, not dark like candy apple. But there, just let me put this light on here. We can get a better lighting on this here. So yeah, you can see there, it's parked like the garage is over here on this side, and that is the bar area of the old Holiday Inn. Now, I wasn't working at the garage when this happened, but there was a constable, and I don't know if you hear about this sometimes, but Eric Spicer, he was shot or killed outside that bar. I think it was 75 before I started working at the garage, but that's the bar there. But there it is. That's what it looked like with the Pro Stock hood scoop, not the big snorkel, just the Pro Stock. My third hood scoop I had on it, and you can see Z28 emblems on the back there. I don't know if I got the trunk open there. It looks a little high up, but maybe I did. Got the big old Goodyear tires on the back, and I got the skinniest damn tires I could get from Canadian Tire. They were like maybe 3.5, barely 4 inches wide. I wanted the skinniest ones I could get. So when it was this color, what was happening here? I was driving down Portland Street. So I was coming up Portland, and at that time, 77. Yeah, Manor Park. Yeah, Manor Park was built. Part of it, just pieces of it. This house here was built. This house was built in 75. So this would have been 77, I think, when I was going up the hill, and I was just about coming up by Penhorn. It was a mall then, right? And in the distance, I see a red car coming. Right as I get closer, it's a Vega. Not only a red Vega, but it had cut bumpers like mine. It had a Pro Stock hood scoop like mine. I tell you, man, it was like I was looking in a mirror. I was looking in a mirror. I thought, "Fuck!" I thought I had the only who's copying off me, right? Who's copying off me? Yeah, well, I found out who was copying off me. Who it was? It was two brothers in Eastern Passage, and they worked on cars and painted cars, and you know, they were bringing in some coin because they were painting cars for people around that area and Dartmouth, right? So I got to know them. I went to their shop there and I got to know them. And I didn't tell them I was going to be changing mine to black, but that's what I did. I got to change it, got the snorkel hood scoop, went to black and all that not long after. But this takes another twist here, this story. Um, so, being we lived in Wallace Heights and stuff, and mom and dad had lots of friends there, and I had friends there. And one family, they're called the Wings. They they were just they weren't from another country or anything. So the last name was Wing, but they were just like, I don't know. Their heritage could have been from Ireland or Scotland or England. I don't know. Anyway, the son had a 75 Vega, and the body was kind of kind of bad. And so they wanted me to do the body work on it. And then, like, I'm the middleman, sort of. I did like the fenders and fixed up the fenders and all that. Wasn't that bad. And I think I prepped it. I sanded it with 400 grit to prep it for a paint job. And what I did is I took it out to the two brothers out in Eastern Passage, and they painted it a really nice, deep, dark purple. I think it was the same color, but the new one it just was shining like crazy. It was awesome. So I brought it back home. I don't think he could pick it up till the weekend. So I had it sitting on the street, just right in front of our house at 80 Woodland Avenue. And my car, of course, in this red mode here, was sitting right in the driveway, right out front, right out front. And I don't know. I'm in the kitchen. Maybe I'm making French fries or something because I used to eat a lot of French fries, and I still eat French fries. Um, let's see. Where is this part now? Uh, it's here somewhere. Oh, I've got another story about a woman, but no, okay. Maybe I didn't write this one down. Anyway, I know it anyway. So, bing bong, doorbell rings. So I go to the door, and whoa, there's this woman standing there, and she's I don't know, like I'm 17, whatever. She's got to be 35 or something, and she's a knockout, and she's got these like fancy designer fishnet stockings on and stuff, and my eyes are just my eyes are just glazed and wide open. I was like, I have a sticker shock here. So she says, is that car for sale? I said, she points at my car in the driveway. I said, oh, no, that's not for sale. I said, it's that one, that purple one. I think, yeah, he wants to sell that car. That's why he had to repaint it. She goes, oh, I really like that one. Yeah, a lot of people like that. She wanted my car. She wanted to buy it. Uh, but no, I wasn't selling it. So I just stood there and watched her walk away. That was good. Anyway, I thought that was funny. So what are we now here? 3, 4. Oh, yeah, okay. I did write this down. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I did write that down. Okay, number 5. Oh, it's another woman story. I could have been in a ZZ Top video, I think, with this one. Anyway, so in comes this fancy car. I don't know what it was. I believe it was a 2-door. I don't think it wasn't a muscle car or anything, but it was just a high end. It could have been a stretched out T-Bird, the ones with the real long front end, really sharp looking with a vinyl roof and everything. Yeah, I think it was that. They were sharp. They were sharp looking cars. I think it was a 75, maybe a 75. Anyway, this girl pulls in, and I, she's probably 30, maybe. I don't know. I pumped the gas, and I don't know how much gas back then. It didn't take much to fill that. Probably $5, $7 or something like that. I gassed it up, and she goes, "Oh, I have a problem with my wipers. Don't seem to be working. I wonder if I have a blown fuse." I said, "Well, it's a possibility. You could have a blown fuse." She goes, "Would you mind checking if if it's a blown fuse?" Hmm, I don't mind checking. So I said, "Could you? Could I get? I have to get under the dash." Like, she goes, "Oh, that's all right." She said, "I'll just move my legs to the side." So I open she opens the door, and I get down, I crunch down, I go in there, and she's legs, long legs on her. She was wearing a dress, I believe. And they're rubbing against my shoulder there. And I'm trying to concentrate to find this fuse that's blown. It's taking a little time because I'm distracted, right? So after a while, I was able to pop the fuse out and bring it out a bit, hold it up to the sunlight. "Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, that one's blown." She goes, "Oh, thank you for finding that." I said, "Oh, no problem. Anytime I can find a fuse." So I go inside, get a new one out of the fuse holder thing, come back out. She still stays in the car. She didn't get out. I crawl underneath again, pop it back in. Okay, I said, "Try your wipers." "Yeah, they work." I said, "Oh, great, that's good, eh?" She goes, "Thank you, thank you." No problem. That's what we do at Texaco. So that was cool. That was a cool day there. Yeah. So that was number 5. Number 6. Oh, number 6. Okay. So as you know, I put that Diamond Tough everywhere. I put Diamond Tough. Geez, I didn't put it on the floor, but I put headliner, doors, back area, hatch. It was just the whole thing. The whole interior was done with the Black Diamond Tough, and it was, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't cured enough. Maybe the glue was still, air hadn't got to the glue yet, or whatever. But something happened that kind of pissed me off. I don't blame her, but shit happens, right? So it was a hot summer, and you know, things are heating up there, and we're real busy. We're real busy, and Gary said you got to hire a student, university student. I said, okay, because he said, you're running from pump to pump like a ping pong ball. He said, "You're trying to do 2 cars at once." I said, "Yeah, I know, but I can do it." I said, "I don't care." But he said, "No, I'm going to get someone for at least for part of July and August, to so we it's not so much because we're getting a lot of cars, and we actually probably got more cars than Esso down the street because we did good service. You bring your car right up to the pumps, we'd fill your tires up and check your oil and all that stuff." um, so he hires a girl. Her name is Wendy, and I think the customers must have liked it because she used to wear the tight summer top, like it wasn't a t-shirt, but it was more clingy. But she didn't have a bra on, so yeah, we were getting a lot more customers coming in. Oh yeah, it wasn't like a lineup out down the street to Esso, but we were getting. Word got around, and oh yeah, they were rolling in. They were rolling in, but she lived up on Lynn Drive, just off of Portland Street. And one day, I think her dad used to come pick her up. She didn't have a car or nothing. Something happened anyway. Her dad couldn't pick her up, and just so happens I was finishing my shift at the same time that she was finishing her shift. So I said, no problem, I'll drive you home. I'll drive you home. So we leave Texaco, boom, go down Alderney, down the hill like that. We're making our way along the waterfront, I believe, probably around where King's Wharf is now, King's Wharf, the big high condos, apartments, whatever. And she sees the dash. Well, I'm going to show you here anyway. Actually, you might even be able to see it. So she, of course, she's sitting in the passenger seat. She touches it right fucking there. You can still see it where it's caved in. Right there. She goes, oh, this is so nice. And she presses it in, and the fucking shit is pressed in. It wouldn't pop back out. It would not pop back out. No matter what I did. Afterwards, I tried it. No, I tried to pull every with. No, go right back in. I took her home. I wasn't that pissed, but I dropped her off and I went, and I thought, probably not going to give her a drive again. I don't think I did. I didn't give her a drive again. Never gave her a drive home, but she never asked for it anyway. So, no, all's good. All's good. So that's funny. Okay, no bra Wendy. Cool. I do have another one. I might as well tell this one too. This has just popped in my head right now. Let me tell this one. But you know what? Is that getting low? I might have to get a Guinness here. You know what? Just to be prepared, I'm going to take a Guinness out now. And I'm going to take the old father mug. I'll let you see it here. If I put my hand in there, you'll be able to see there. Reginald. My father. Yeah. His mug. Okay, yeah, I don't even need to look at the book for this one. So, yeah, I'm there by myself. I think this is probably before Wendy started. Yeah. This big old, I don't know, it's a big old freaking Cadillac. I think it was a Lincoln Continental. It was a big Lincoln Continental. Friggin' thing must have been 22 feet long, man. Holy shit. He comes in. He happens to be from Preston. And he's got all the smells and the scents, and I don't know. He just is wafting out of the car, but I say, yeah, what'd you like? He goes, full. I said, okay, yeah, no problem. I get it out. Regular, he said. I said, okay, yeah, regular. You don't want to pay for the high test. I understand that. High test is expensive. A lot of people got regular anyway. So I open it up. I think it's in the back. I flip down the license plate, take the fucking cap off, put it in. I'm looking at the pump like that. I'm around fucking. I'm edging over $6 now. I get up to about 650 and I'm in 670, 680. He goes, whoa. I said, full. I said, yeah, that's what I'm doing. He goes, no, full. You want $4? Whoa, stop the old pump. Take the pump, put it back in the friggin'. And I go in and tell Gary. And Gary goes, okay, no problem. Get him to back it over there in that spot there. He said, we'll get a hose, we'll get a siphon hose, and we're going to siphon out the extra we gave him. That's what we did. We siphoned it out. That's a funny story. What's it? Oh, there's another one. Should I save that one? Yeah, I'm going to save that one. It's a really funny one. Okay. So this one, I can tell you right now, I didn't. I can tell you right now. What time is it now? Yeah. We covered everything. I can tell you right now in Dartmouth, with the Dartmouth police force, I didn't get hassled. I didn't get hassled by the police at all. I got pulled over once, and I'll tell you that in this story here. But it's because I got to know the Smith family, and Chris Smith's father, Alistair. Well, his brother was Roger Smith, chief of police in Dartmouth. So as I got to know, you know, them and stuff like that, I think he may have told the officers, don't don't hassle Lynch in the Vega. And they didn't. There was one constable though, Constable Porter. He just wanted to give me a heads up that what I was doing wasn't, the norm. Oh, okay, yeah, I know that. I know it wasn't the norm, but I wasn't a millionaire, right? So, well, he pulled me over. I think I'm going down. I'm in the Vega. I'm going down Victoria, and as I'm making a right on Albert Lake Road, there they go. Woo! Woo! Fuck. What are they gonna get me for? What? What's wrong? They're gonna get me for the pipes too loud, or what? What's it gonna be? I didn't know. So he walks up. He goes, I just want to let you know that he said you can't keep driving all these cars uh, with them registered under your mother's name. So you can't keep doing that. That you know insurance and stuff and all that. I said, well, I'm insured under her. I'm insured under her policies. I said, but she is a registered owner of all the cars. I said, you mean? I said, do you mean by cars? I said, do you mean my 1974 Pontiac Laurentian and my 1968 Volkswagen Bug and my 1972 Vega? He goes, yeah, that's what I'm talking. They're all registered in your mother's name. I said, yeah, because they're hers. And he shook his head. He was pissed. He said, okay. And he goes back to his car, and I just drive away and say, you can't give me a ticket for that, man. You can't give me a ticket for that. I'm still legal. I'm an occasional driver on 3 cars. And that's what I was. I occasionally drive one of the 3, right? The Vega was for at night, cruising late at night. The Bug was to get me around in the, go back forth to work sometimes. And then the Laurentian was my winter beater. So what are you going to do? So I thought that was cool. Actually, I can show you. I had to put the old, I bought the 74 Pontiac Laurentian from my brother-in-law, Alan Rhino. He bought it, I believe, from a priest. It was light green, 4-door. You look it up. It was a big car. I could fit 5 of my friends in the back seat and 3 or 4 of us up front, right? And that thing just floated down the highway. It was so friggin' smooth. It had a 350 in it with a turbo 350 tranny. I don't know what the gear ratio was, but I could sit at the light. Of course, it was automatic. I could just put a little pressure on the brake pedal and then hit the gas, and I could turn those 15-inch tires. I could sit there and smoke those tires as long as I wanted. Just smoke billowing off the friggin' thing. It was quite the car. But let me crack my Guinness. Now's your chance. Go get another drink. I'm just gonna sip this off. Yeah, so let's crack the Guinness. Oh, the mug's still cold. The Guinness is cold. It's all good, people. It's all good. You guys made it through another week. So did I. I've done a video on the old RS since January 1st, and I haven't stopped. I'm going to try something every day. I haven't missed a day yet. I'm trying. And if I run out of this guy, I'm going over to the bullet. Because there's things I can do to the bullet. Yep. With the last drop again. Okay, so yeah, I was going to show you. Yeah, it was my brother-in-law sold it to me because I needed a winter beater, and I think I paid $250 for it, and it was a solid. It was like a tank, man. It was like a tank. But being Woodland Avenue and all the traffic and cars go up and down there all day and night, it's a dangerous place to park your car in front of your house there, either side, as you know. And the Laurentian got smacked in the back driver's side quarter panel. Now the first hit was, yeah, I still drove it. It had a big wow, a big freaking wow in the quarter panel. The quarter panels on the freaking thing was that, I think it was that freaking long. It was long. It was a long quarter panel. It had a gigantic trunk in it. But the second hit, no, I had to send it to the boneyard after that. The buddy totaled the fucking back end of her. He was driving a Dodge Dart. I know this because the police found out who it was. He only made it up the road a little ways. He didn't even make it as he was going up the hill to get to the highway. He didn't even make it up that far. He was off the side of the road. His car was all smashed to shit, and the red was leaking. So he didn't. They got all his information. I don't even think he was supposed to have a license or something. I don't know. And he didn't have insurance, and I couldn't get no money out of him or nothing. And but there's a story that adds to this. But I'll show you the picture first. So there's the you can see the light green. This is this is the trunk lid coming here like this. This is the quarter panel. You can see a piece of the bumper, but he ripped out all this stuff here, and everything's all smushed and folded over like that, like just like a paper wrapper. Just destroyed the car. Just destroyed it. What a nice car it was, though. I like the big car ride. Nothing like the big car ride. It's awesome. Our gas was cheaper then. I've got one picture of the Vega there, and the Texaco sign there says 95 cents a gallon. So, now I did work it out the other day. Now it would be about $5 to $5.50 a gallon. That's what we're paying now. So it's gone up 5 times in, I don't know what, 40, 50 years? 50 years. 50 years it's gone up. So every 10 years, yeah, going up $1 or something like that. Yeah, is that all the stories? Or there's something else here? There may be something else. Yeah. Yeah, so he couldn't give me a ticket for that. No. And that's that. We did that one. We did the Texaco, and we did that. And we did that and that. But what else was there? Oh, yeah. I used to go to, they used to have car shows over at they call it the Metro Center back in the day over in Halifax. They had really good car shows. And me and Pat went over to a few. But one time it was going to be Farrah Fawcett's Vet. We knew that was coming. So I wanted to go over and see that. I got a picture of it here. It's kind of dark. It's kind of a dark picture because the camera I had sucked. But it had like smoke green lenses over the headlights. It had these hearts or something on the seats. And right here it says Farrah's Foxy Vet. Yeah, she had a cool, and all the fenders were all flared out and everything on it. I think it was like a 70, 73, 74, 75. I don't know what year the Vet was, but yeah, that's one of the cars that was in the car show there. Back around 77, I believe it was. Could have been like that. That date, 77, maybe 78. But yeah, what else was there? There's something else I'm forgetting. There's something else I'm forgetting that happened with the car. Um. Oh yeah. Okay. When I had the snorkel, no, not snorkel, the Pro Stock hood scoop on it, before it got painted, um, the vermilion red. I had some other color that I bought from Crappy Tire. It was some type of, I don't know, metal flake something. I just had to paint the hood. I think I got another hood from the junkyard, and then put this Pro Stock on, and I painted some flake, uh, heavy flake candy color, a reddish candy flake in it, and I painted it downstairs in the basement. And then the furnace was sucking all the fumes up, and the old man was pissed. He was pissed. He called the hospital. He said, "What should we do? I think I'm being poisoned." But it was bad. The fumes were bad. I shouldn't have been painting in the furnace room. So, painted the whole hood in the furnace room. So yeah, should have been. It was too cold outside to do it. Anyway, so inside that time, sometime in the middle of the night, one of these, after that, I don't know when it was, but somebody came up the backyard. We didn't have no cams or ring cameras back then. It was all the old ear. If you can hear something going on outside, that's all you had. That and your eyeballs. Anyway, someone came into my backyard where my Vega was parked and had a nail or a knife, and he just went, put a big Z right at the top of the hood scoop. Just, I mean, the freaking thing was, I don't know, it was like a quarter-inch deep into the freaking plastic hood scoop. I thought, you fucking bastard. I'll figure something out. What I did, I couldn't get the impression of the Z out very well with filler and all that. So what I did, I made pinstripes, pinstripes like that, pinstripes like this, pinstripes like that. I made my own Z. I put a Z over the Z and put a little 2.8 down here, like Z28, on the top of the hood scoop to cover it up. There's always a way to get around things, man. That's what I did. Cover it up. But, shit like that happens. People get jealous of stuff you got, and they're going to come and try to destroy it. And that happens. But, yeah. So, that takes us to, let's see, the time when it was vermilion red, the GM color. And then we're going to get into next episode will be when I take it in for the paint. Like I basically sanded the whole car with the 400 and the two brothers that painted cars, not the ones in Eastern Passage, but the ones in Off Windmill, the Short brothers. They were older. They said that's fine as long as you do a good job. And they said when you put the snorkel hood scoop on, we want you to put a rivet, almost a rivet on top of, beside another rivet. Don't, you know, you might leave a little space, he said, but don't leave too much. He said, I want rivets all the way around that hood scoop, drilled through, bonded onto that Vega hood. And then you're going to take your fiberglass, put your fiberglass on, let that harden. Then put your body fill over, fix your body fill all the way around the hood scoop, he said. And when you bring it to me, if it looks good, we'll paint it. And sure enough, they painted it. I took my time. I did what they said, because they said if you don't drill those rivets that close, all your body fill and fiberglass is all going to crack within a few months. So they knew their shit. They knew that had to be bonded first before you start laying all your material on. And they were right. and it never did crack. Never cracked a bit with that black paint. So you got to follow the experts when they tell you that. You just do what they say, and it works out. Ah, yeah, I should be able to get this video up by 9 o'clock. I hope, if I don't run into any snags or upload problems. But well, I want to thank you guys for hanging out in the garage again with me, especially on the Vega nights, Vega story nights. You know, who knows? We run other Vega story nights. We'll go on to another. We could go on to other cars I've had. You know, so I got some stories. Yeah, I got some stories with some other cars too. So, like I say, guys, and I always say it, I'd like each and every one of you to stay safe out there. You know what I mean. Thunder Road.